And if you're going to do it, welcome and thank you for being here with us tonight. First, I would like to congratulate all the members of the Programs Committee for a fabulous job that I have. So, thank you very much. And the co-chairs, Joe Smith and Alan Lewis. I also would like to invite you to the Underfashion Club holiday party, which will be on December 5th at here the same place. Okay, good venue. So I hope to see you here on December 5th to celebrate our holiday party. Also, I would like to make sure that the 60th anniversary Femi Awards will be on February 6th, and all are invited. And I hope to see you there. It will be a great event. Now I would like to call Alan Lewis, co-chair of the Programs Committee, to start the event. Thank you.
So we're really excited to have MPD with us tonight. Just so you all know, not loud enough. Is that better? Yeah. Anyway, we'd like to say that we have 100 people here and 10 new members. I'd like to introduce, say a little something about MPD and introduce our speaker. Just for those of you in the room who might not be familiar, MPD is an international organization in 20 different countries that's been around for over 50 years, and they are the premier, I think I read, in the top 10 consulting analytical firms, am I saying that right, in the world. And they have, they interview over 12 million consumers a year. They track a tremendous amount of information, and they have a lot to say about the evolution of what's going on in retail, or what's not going on in retail. So I'd like to introduce Don Unser. He is our guest speaker for tonight. He's the Vice President for, did I say it right? I told you. For retail, and he's going to lead the conversation for tonight. Okay? Thanks.
All right, good evening. So thank you very much for having us. Appreciate it. I really appreciate having the cocktail hour before for a couple reasons. But one of the reasons is because I got around and talked to some of you all, and whether I'm at the toy industry or the auto parts industry or the beauty industry or the home industry, a lot of the same threads go from industry to industry in terms of what's happening in retail and the challenges we're all facing. There's never been a more tumultuous time in retail than right now, at least in my career, in the 25, 30 years I've been in retail myself. So thank you for having MPD. We're going to go about 40, 45 minutes, and we'll have a few minutes for questions at the end. This material has been curated over the last 3 or 4 years, looking at the retail trends across all the industries we track. So if I can have everybody step out of your industry tonight, just for the next 30, 40 minutes. What people like about this material is they like to hear about what's happening in other industries and how they're handling e-commerce, how they're handling direct-to-consumer, how they're handling all these other things that are happening out there. So I'll be giving a lot of examples from other industries. I do have a few things in here from your industry as well that the team will help you with. Great team. Yep. Okay. Very good. So let's get started. Okay. Here we go. So this is a slide that MPD publishes quarterly. I know it's a lot of numbers. I won't have all number slides. I'm going to have a lot of concept slides up here as well. But this is probably the most comprehensive view of the U.S. consumer that's available. This tracks $1.8 trillion of U.S. consumer spend across NPD's categories and the categories that Nielsen tracks. So Nielsen tracks food and drug, okay? So of this $1.8 trillion in the bottom right-hand corner, the first thing I want your eyes to go to is the growth rate, which is negative 0.2%. This is the first time we've hit a negative growth rate in the U.S. in retail since the recession. Okay? And we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. A couple of caveats. Two big industries in retail that are growing that we do not track and Nielsen does not track. So I just want to caveat that. Home improvement. You all see that both Home Depot and Lowe's are comping at 4 to 6%, so there's good growth going on in that sector. Furniture is also growing, so we do not track that as well. But we do track most everything else. This is in rank order of growth rate per industry. So you have the prestige beauty industry is growing the fastest of any industry that we or Nielsen track. And then accessories, it has been consumer electronics at the bottom for 3 years that I've been presenting this. It has now been overtaken by the accessories business. Accessories for NPD is handbags, luggage, wallets, things like that. And that's primarily driven by the handbag industry. And you know the story there of a couple of brands that have driven that down. A couple of things that I would note also, in prestige beauty, toys, and housewares are three fastest growing industries. The average sales price in those industries is all up. Okay? In accessories, consumer electronics, and footwear, average sales price is down. That's kind of a fundamental that always drives these charts. Now, some would say that there's a correlation to innovation and higher sales price, and that is certainly the case in some of these. We'll get into that as I talk about some of these industries as we drill down. A couple other things to note. By the way, prestige beauty for NPD is the cosmetics, skincare, and fragrance industry, and we track the higher end products. Mostly the brands that would be selling at the counters at the drugstores, at the department stores and up. Okay? The more mass prestige, mass beauty is in health and beauty aids over there, just below 1% growth. Okay? Commercial food service is the largest industry up there. That's the restaurant business. That 1.6% growth represents 100% of price inflation in the restaurants. Traffic in restaurants in the United States is down. Okay? The other thing that's happening in restaurants, and I don't have a slide here on it, is that there's a huge movement of people taking food home, whether it be takeout or food being delivered to home. That is a huge trend that's happening in the U.S. It's been going on for about 2 or 3 years. It's going to do nothing but accelerate for the coming years. Okay? Let's see. Any other? I'm going to talk about footwear. Consumer electronics is always at the bottom of the list. That is an industry that's very, very tough. I spent 21 years at Hewlett-Packard. As soon as you come out with a new product, it's a race to the bottom. Absolutely. The retailers take you down to cost, typically being advertised within a few weeks of introduction. It's just a brutal, brutal business, right? Yep. And even though there's been some exciting news in consumer electronics with wearables, drones, home automation, it's not enough to counteract the declining prices and the saturation points for TVs and computers. Those are just huge, huge industries. Okay. I think everything else I'm going to make some points on as we go. Apparel being flat. It's the first time we've seen apparel at flat. It's been growing anywhere between 1 to 3%. So that's kind of a new piece as well. You all are in the industry, so I don't need to tell you what's going on in your piece of that, but we will show some slides here in a little while. Okay, so this is a comprehensive view. For those of you in the room that are clients, we do share this with our clients every quarter when it comes out. I would encourage you to send this straight up to your C-suite. Your CEO should be looking at these macro trends that are happening in retail at least once a quarter or once a half. Okay? All right. So this is 12 months rolling data for 6 quarters. And you can see the decline in retail. If you take food out, and you look at just the green line, that's taking the restaurant business out, we're actually approaching -1% in U.S. retail. So I use this information with some of the top retailers in the country and present to them very frequently. And the number one question I get is, okay, I get it. I see that my traffic's down. I see that they're not coming in with their discretionary spend into retail. Where else are they going? Where are they shifting their spend? So the prevailing thought on that is really they're spending anything that's worthy of taking a picture of with your phone. Right? So anything having to do with memory. I know people say experiences. I like to say memories. That's really Marshall Cohen uses that, our chief industry analyst. But there are lots of proof points out there. Here's the national park attendance in the U.S. That's certainly a proof point. Another proof point is the cruise industry worldwide. It's gone up 29% since 2010 to 2016. And they keep building more and more capacity of cruises. I just went on my first cruise. It's a fantastic experience in terms of value, right? I mean, it really is. So I'm going to do more of those.